This is the History of Algeria podcast. Each week on Mondays, we'll be updating new information about the history of Algeria. This is an Eat to My Own Beat podcast. Welcome back to episode 34 of the History of Algeria podcast. Ancient Carthage. Ancient Carthage was an ancient Semitic civilization based in North Africa, initially a settlement in present-day Tunisia. It later became a city-state and then an empire, founded by the Phoenicians in the 9th century. Carthage reached its height in its 4th century BC as one of the largest metropolis in the world. It is the center of the Carthaginian Empire, a major power led by the Punic people who dominated the ancient Western and Central Mediterranean Sea following the Punic Wars. Carthage was destroyed by the Romans in 146 BC, who later rebuilt the city lavishly. Carthage was settled around 814 BC by colonists from Tyre, a leading Phoenician city-state located in present-day Lebanon. In the 7th century BC, following Phoenicia's conquest by the Neo-Assyrian Empire, Carthage became an independent and gradually expanding its economic political hegemony across the Western Mediterranean. By 300 BC, through its vast patchwork of colonies, vassals, and satellite states, held together by its naval dominance of the Western and Central Mediterranean Sea, Carthage controlled the largest territory in the region, including the coast of northwestern Africa, southern and eastern Iberia, and the islands of Sicily, Sardinia, Corsica, Malta, and the Balearic Islands. Tripoli remained autonomous under the authority of the local Libyco-Phoenicians, who paid nominal tribute. Among the ancient world's largest and richest cities, Carthage's strategic location provided access to the abundant fertile land and major maritime trade routes that reached Western Asia and Northern Europe, providing commodities from all over the ancient world. In addition, the lucrative exports of agricultural products and manufactured goods, the commercial empire was secured by one of the largest and most powerful navies of the classical antiquity, and an army composed heavily of foreign mercenaries and auxiliaries, particularly Iberians, Balearics, Gauls, Britons, Sicilians, Italians, Greeks, Numidians, and Libyans. As the dominant power in the Western Mediterranean, Carthage inevitably came into conflict with many neighbors and rivals, from the Berbers of North Africa to the nascent Roman Republic. Following centuries of conflict with the Sicilian Greeks, its growing competition with Rome culminated in the Punic Wars from 264 to 146 BC, which saw some of the largest and most sophisticated battles in antiquity. Carthage narrowly avoided destruction after the Second Punic War, but was destroyed by the Romans in 146 BC after the Third Punic War. The Romans later founded a new city in its place. All remnants of Carthage civilization came under Roman rule by the 1st century AD. And Rome subsequently became the dominant Mediterranean power, paving the way for the Roman Empire. Despite the cosmopolitan character of the empire, Carthage culture and identity remained rooted in Canaanite heritage, albeit a localized variety known as Punic. Like other Phoenician peoples, its society was urban, commercial, and oriented towards seafaring and trade. This is reflected in part by its notable innovations, including cereal production, uncolored glass, the threshing board, and the Cothan harbor. Carthaginians were renowned for their commercial prowess, ambitious explorations, and unique system of government which combined elements of democracy, oligarchy, and republicanism, including modern examples of the separation of powers. Despite having been one of the most influential civilizations of antiquity, Carthage is mostly remembered for its long and bitter conflict with Rome, which threatened the rise of the Roman Republic and almost changed the course of Western civilization. Due to the destruction of virtually all Carthaginian texts after the Third Punic War, much of what we know about the civilization comes from the Greek and Roman sources, many of whom wrote during and after the Punic Wars, and varying degrees were shaped by the hostilities. Popular and scholarly attitudes towards Carthage historically reflected the prevailing Greco-Roman view, though archaeological research since the late 19th century has helped shed more light and nuance on the Carthaginian civilization. Thank you for listening to the History of Algeria podcast. Please check back every Monday at noon Pacific time for a new episode. Also available on YouTube and wherever you get your podcast. Check us out at www.eatmountbeat.com.